Good morning. I have a confession to make. I stand before you as a double agent. I am a member of the Missions Committee of Wilshire, and I'm the Executive Director of the Gaston Christian Center. And it is a privilege, both of those. In about 2011, Mark, there began to be discussions between the pastor of Gaston Oaks Baptist Church, Dr. Gary Cook, the other Gary Cook, and George and Mark. That congregation was rapidly declining. They came out of the old Gaston Avenue Baptist Church downtown. And when the average age of the membership got to be 83, Wilshire and Gaston Oaks began to talk about how do we keep the mission legacy of this church going into the distant future. Out of that, a board was formed, 5 members from each church, to work through that. And I was on that board, but then later they asked me if I would serve as executive director. What is the Gaston Christian Center? First of all, I want to tell you what it's not. The Gaston Christian Center is not a church, but there's 7 churches that are housed in the center. The Gaston Christian Center is not a medical dental clinic for the underinsured, but it houses probably the largest medical dental clinic for uninsured in the Dallas area. Last year, they treated over 17,000 patients. It is not a ministry to immigrants, but it is the home of probably the largest immigrant ministry in Dallas. Samira Page coordinates all of that. It is not a ministry of tutoring to at-risk school children, but it houses the Office of Kids University, which tutors over 400 students in 10 apartment complexes. It is not a ministry to orphans in North Korea, but it houses the offices of the gentleman whose ministry that is, and he goes into North Korea 3 times a year. Over a period of 12 months, will have taken several tons of wheat, corn, and soybean. It is not a graduate university granting master's and doctor's degrees to urban leaders and ministers across 4 continents, but it houses that very school. But the Gaston Christian Center is more than a building of brick and mortar. It's a servant. We have a servant mission. We're called to offer our expertise, our passion, and our facilities to empower ministries and congregations to fulfill their vision. Now, if you saw the legal documents of all these groups, it looks like a typical legal document. We're the landlord, they are the tenants, and we fulfill all those expectations. In fact, it takes the Gaston Christian Center about $300,000 a year to keep that building going. But in reality, we're also the steward of a sacred space where the needs of human beings intersect with those who have the skills to make a difference in their lives. It's imperative that the vital organs of the building be kept healthy, whether we're talking about heating, cooling, plumbing, flooring, whatever. The health of the building is essential to its servanthood. Now back as a missions committee member. It is a wonderful privilege to be working with this partner, truly a light to the nations. But 6 of those congregations that meet there are immigrant churches housing refugees who had to leave their home countries for fear of death. The light has come to us, and in turn, we go to the nations. The Gaston Christian Center, a place where hope lives.